the Tsavo West National Park, which is part of the Tsavo ecosystem in southeastern Kenya. It's home to over 13,000 elephants, Kenya's largest population, and we're here to witness the burning of ivory. Hundreds of people have come to witness this event, including diplomats, ministers from various countries, officials, administration, and many, many conservationists from across this country and Eastern Africa.
Kenya's tourism and Africa's tourism is about wildlife. Today, if we kill wildlife, we kill tourism. It's very important for our economy, and also it's a revenue for our people. Your Excellency, this is a very important day for tourism and for the country because we believe in conservation.
The ivory that's crackling and popping behind me in this massive bonfire was part of a shipment that was seized in Singapore in 2002. It was packed in containers labelled stone sculptures, and it came from Zambia. Its final destination, China and Japan. 2 countries that are legally authorised to trade in ivory by the CITES Convention, that's the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. It was the 19th shipment of ivory from Zambia when it was seized. And this operation revealed the complex web of players, including poachers, government agents and traders in Africa, China and Japan. And all of this ivory behind me came from elephants that have been ruthlessly killed by poachers. Ian, you've been witnessing a surge in poaching up in northern Kenya. Can you tell me about that?
We've seen over the last 6 months higher rates of illegal killing in northern Kenya, in particular in Samburu National Reserve and Buffalo Springs, than the highest level in the previous 10 years. So it is a surge, and it's related also to a local surge in ivory price, which has doubled in the same period, the last 2.5 years.
Well, why is ivory price rising?
Well, we think it's due to increased demand, probably related to China's prosperity and other countries that can buy ivory. I don't think that people know that every time they buy, it means an animal dies. So I'm convinced that there needs to be a campaign to tell people that if the buying stops, the killing can too.
How important is this?
I have worked with you a long time. I'm incredibly sad when I see these going up in smoke, because it reminds me of all those countless elephants that have died or are currently in miserable wounded condition. And we're seeing this on a weekly basis. Our wounding rate has also gone up. It's doubled as well. We never had wounded elephants. Now they come in full of gunshot wounds, streaming with blood, and then they either die or they are in great pain, and there are many, many orphans. So I feel terribly sad when I see this.
Do you think that this message that has been sent out by the President of Kenya and the Lusaka Task Force is going to have an impact on the countries where the demand comes from?
I think it's a symbol, it's a small symbol, and there need to be very much bigger measures, both to increase the severity of sentences and to lower demand.
Conservationists today are sending out 2 messages. First, we must destroy the demand for ivory. And we can do this by destroying all of the stockpiles across the African continent. This pile of 5 tons only represents less than 10% of Kenya's stockpile. The second message the conservationist wants to send out is that China should not be a preferred trading partner for ivory, because the demand in China is far too great and it could wipe out Africa's elephants very quickly.
I want to assure the country and Your Excellency that KWS will play its role to ensure that law enforcement teams are strengthened.
This is the strongest conservation statement that has come out of Africa in a very long time. This ivory is worth more than $10 million. It's the second time that Kenya has burned ivory to send this powerful message about how the ivory trade is killing Africa's elephants, and we're not going to tolerate it any longer.